Interesting to get your take on a couple of fights.
Go. But a big lad like you could essentially tomorrow start with treatment, shave the beard off, stick a dress on, and go and compete in women's MMA.
I wouldn't even have to shave. When you voice your opinion, you have to be receptive to the fact that people will disagree with you. And it fucking puts my head away that when you're engaged in civil discourse, and that's what it is, it's civility. I never attack anybody in the way I speak to them, but it's not okay to get it out in public and shove it down people's throats that don't want it.
That's never been okay, though. I mean, that's not you.
Yeah, but it's like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to the second episode of the Bat and the Bandit podcast with myself, Phil Campbell, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Lee Rogers. Lee, what's going on, buddy? You good?
I'm all good. What about yourself, kid?
I'm good, man.
We haven't spent all day together, so we don't know any of this.
But they don't know that. Right, we're going to start things off nice and light as an introduction. Lee,
Phil,
is the world fucked? If no, why are you lying? If yes, elaborate.
Well, Philip Lawrence fucking Campbell. That's a curveball, man. Well, yesterday we had a preacher outside.
Yep.
Well, do you want to talk about this? I mean, is this cool? Is this fucking cool to talk about? I think we should.
Yeah, I think we're at the stage now. I think we've done episode 1 was an introductory podcast where we're being kind of polite. We're being kind of like polite, and again, it was origin stories. But now I think we're getting into just getting into what we want to talk about, and that's why I asked you, because we've had conversations about this privately. Civilizations kind of reach their apex and then dissipate.
Well, they say that.
Who say?
Well, in general, it's not even
they say. There ain't no smoke without fire.
Keep you posted, folks. Whatever the fuck. I'm half cut here. Anyway, let's do this here. The thing is that in the history books, if you look back over the Romans, the Assyrians, the Sumerians, the Greeks, there's a certain point that they hit in civilization.
What are the telltale signs of that?
Telltale signs are the building the monuments to themselves, which is our cities.
Aye.
And the blurring of the sexes.
Right.
It's a sticky fucking thing to get into this. I have my opinions, you have yours.
Yeah.
We kind of line up quite a bit with what we think.
I think so, yeah. Or is societally, though, I'll put it a different way. Societally, though, are we in a good space? Are we in a mutually beneficial, mutually respectful, mutually homogenous?
No, we haven't been in that space for fucking 100 years. You know.
What do you reckon is at the core of that?
Government, religion. You know, religion's the big player.
You say government and religion. I would say comfort plays a massive fucking part. I think we're far too fucking comfortable.
Yeah, we have everything we need at our fingertips. I mean, there's homeless guys walking about. And like I have a big heart for the homeless. Aye. But there's homeless people out there who are still able to walk around with iPhones, and you know what I mean. Everybody's connected no matter what. You can get what you need technology wise, no matter how poor you are these days.
I've seen homeless knocking about on the street, and again, I'm not to make light of homelessness because I worked in the caring sector before. So
I'm the same as you, man.
I know how much of a plight it is, but a guy will be on the street and ask for change. You say you've no change, and then they bring out a fucking card reader.
Exactly, I've seen that too.
That's not normal, man.
I've seen that a lot in the States.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
So where do you think societally we are now, like taking economically and everything out of it?
We're towards the end of. There's something happening.
There's a shift. There's a societal shift.
Yeah, 100%. There is. There's something happening at the moment that, I mean, I can't pinpoint. You can't pinpoint, but there's definitely something that we need to try and dig a little deeper into. Of what is actually happening out there, because you know when you get to a point where, and I have no bones against this. When you get to a point where you have to be careful what way you address someone who is maybe pretty obviously this or that to you.
Are you talking about now? Let's not stand on ceremony here.
I'm not good at this part.
No, I know that. I know that. But are you talking about the pronoun debate?
The pronoun debate fucking kills me, man.
Right.
I mean, I've come out of what I can essentially say is a 6 or 7 year hibernation where I have not been among people. Yeah. I have not been dealing with people. I have been kind of probably quite covered in a nice blanket and taken to places to do my job.
So you would have been the bear that women wanted to spend time with in the forest as opposed to the male, which is a debate for another fucking day, which blows my mind. But again, for me, the onus seems to be now. I don't get the whole pronoun debate by virtue of the fact these are my pronouns. You must adhere to these pronouns, and we've had we work in an environment where that has become very, very prominent.
Yeah.
Why can't I just address you by your fucking name?
Yeah. Well, that's it. Ask the name and address them as that.
Yeah, I don't understand why this has become such a hot button topic.
People, we discussed this on the last podcast.
Yeah.
People go out of their way to be offended.
People go out of their way to be offended, and people also go out of their way to be champions of some kind of causation.
That's it. So, I mean, if I was to say to you, and it has happened, and I've been corrected, and I am happy to stand back and be corrected. Don't get me wrong, I am not militant against any kind of you're this or you're that, or
no, of course.
It's black and white. Let's look at sport.
Surely common sense has to prevail at some fucking stage.
Yeah. Can we look at sport? Phil Campbell, you are.
We're both heavily involved in sports, whether that be combative or whether that be as fans, practitioners, whatsoever.
Both of us. Yep.
The blurring of the genders in sport is, as far as I'm concerned, a fucking joke, man.
Essentially, if you wanted, you could tomorrow start taking hormone treatment. A big lad like you, who has
thank
nuts,
you.
You're a big. You like that, man.
I really did. Yeah.
But a big lad like you could essentially tomorrow start treatment, shave the beard off, stick a dress on, and go and compete in women's MMA.
I wouldn't even have to
shave. Compete in women's mixed martial arts. Where does that sit with you?
I wouldn't even have to shave the beard off because a beard is not indicative of gender. Lee, you know,
I've seen a few.
Educate yourself.
I've seen a few people who are kind of going that way.
Educate yourself.
Sorry, man, that's me. That's on me. Sorry.
You're so anti-woke. You're so anti-woke. You're asleep, brother. But yeah, no. Let's break this down. Like, realistically, and speaking openly and honestly. And again, when this is posted, if anybody finds it contentious or they or they don't agree with it, please feel free to reach out and I'll have a conversation with you and tell you why you're fucking wrong.
Yes, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. This is it.
But for a biological male,
bone density, everything.
Yeah, to compete in a sphere with biological females, for me, as an individual. Now, these are my opinions. These are not representative of any organization and or company that I may be involved with. These are entirely mine. It's fucking wrong, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, right, look at Leah Thomas, I believe it is, the swimmer.
This is a perfect fucking example, actually.
Ranked 430 something.
Which means she was shit in the men's fucking division.
As it did.
Yeah.
As it did. Yeah. 430 something as it did in the NCAA's university decides to change gender and compete as a female in the NCAA swimming and becomes the best female swimmer in recorded history of the NCAAs. Is that fair?
No.
Is it fuck?
No.
Now, again, my biggest bone of contention is when that then bleeds down into the likes of the high school metric. So now, potentially, you have somebody in high school who decides to transition. They get to the nationals, and it comes down to that individual who was born a biological male competing against a biological female for a scholarship at university as an athlete. Yeah. Is that fair that there are no restrictions based upon the biological male who is now transitions and identifies as a female winning that? Getting the scholarship, like, morally, when you say that out loud, that's fucking abhorrent. But due to the social climate, that we live in, people have to stand around, clap their hands, give that individual their flowers because they're so scared of being called anything other than I guess what is woke a term that people wear proudly?
No, I mean, there was a while 6-7 years ago. I was a thing. Yeah, I'm woke. I'm aware. That's what I used to think it meant.
Yeah.
I'm awake to what is going on the bigger picture.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. Somewhere along the line, it's been hijacked.
Yeah.
To you need if you're woke, you gotta be woke. You have to bend to our. And it's opinion. It's fucking opinions.
This is what I find so interesting. Right. Okay, it's okay to have your opinion. Your opinion is yours, entirely yours. You can have full autonomy over that opinion, as long as it fits with our narrative.
Yeah.
Now,
explain that. This is dramatic. Explain that in layman's terms.
Now, this is me being dramatic.
Right.
This is me being very, very dramatic, but it's to reinforce a point. You can have your opinion. You can be autonomous on your opinion. It can be yours and yours entirely, but only if and when it fits in with the social narrative, the populace at the time that is crafting the social narrative. Where have we heard that before?
Yeah, exactly.
It is dangerous, man. Like, I used to, for a long time, and so my religious, socio-economic, philosophical, socio-political ideals have not really changed.
Yeah.
However, when I started engaging in civil discourse, societal discourse, I would have been considered a liberal.
Yes, but
now,
yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Exactly. You're fucking hit the nail on the head here, because you were perfectly fine in the things that you believed.
Yeah.
We've got gay friends. We have people that we fucking.
And again, I don't want to preface this by saying I'm not homophobic, I'm not transphobic, I'm not fatphobic. I'm not scared of fat people, because what if you were scared of fat people? You can just fucking outrun them. But I'm just saying.
There's a thing against, like, you know, you can't even.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Do you want me to make a statement?
Do it.
Right.
We're here now. We may as well.
It has never been a harder time to be a middle-aged white man with an opinion than it is right now.
Why is that?
Because I am literally looking out the door and just waving goodbye to jobs as I'm doing this. Like, goodbye to mortgage money. No, but I stand by that. And again, I'm not saying this out of hatred. I'm not saying this being intentionally oppositional to anybody, because I'm not. And I invite discourse. This is what, like, you know me, I can be a wee bit of a troll on Facebook posts and Instagram posts online, just because I like a wee bite. I like to throw a line out sometimes, and somebody just, we caught a live one.
You're doing it from an educated point of view.
Yeah, but I also believe that I'm entitled to do that without being told that I'm this phobic, that phobic, non-phobic, fucking.
Everybody's so fragile at the minute. There's a fragility with people and their place in society, which is worrying in itself. Because whenever you get that fragility turned to laws, where you can't fucking speak out your mind about something that you believe is right.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous place to be.
Again, a lot of the time, and I have conversations with people, and I disagree with them. I don't agree with the content of what they're saying.
Yeah.
But I agree with their right to say it.
Yeah.
I agree that they should have a forum by which they can voice their opinion. But when you voice your opinion, you have to be receptive to the fact that people will disagree with you. And it fucking puts my head away that when you're engaged in civil discourse, and that's what it is, it's civility. I never attack anybody in the way I speak to them. I believe in debate. Yeah. I believe in debate. And mate, I'm more than happy if somebody says something and makes me think about the fact I was wrong. I'll hold my hands up and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think about it that way.
There's a beauty in being wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I learned a long time ago. The best way to learn and the best way to educate yourself is to allow yourself to be wrong. But
also to have that opinion in the fucking first place.
Exactly.
So if somebody were to come to me and we were to engage in, and this has happened to me before, engaged in dialogue and we've had a chat and everything, and I'm able to make a substantive point that I can back up with empirical facts, whether it be science, whether it be surveys, whether it be statistics. All they have to do, if they are part of that particular neoliberal left, we'll call them, all they have to do is say, I feel unsafe. And I don't want to continue this conversation because I feel attacked. No, you don't want to continue the conversation because you're being fucking challenged.
Yeah.
And that is a thing that is wrong with modern society. It does not invite fucking challenge. Yeah. And again, I don't know if it's because we come from perhaps...
It doesn't invite it. It fucking forbids it.
Yeah.
It forbids it. There's a difference here.
So why can't we have a conversation?
Yeah.
Why do people shy away? And this whole I feel attacked right now. Yeah. Attacked? Yeah. All I've done is prove you wrong. I haven't punched you in the face. I haven't fucking threatened to punch you in the face. Yeah. You have not been attacked. You're part of a generation that you do not know what being attacked feels like.
Nobody gets punched in the face anymore. That's the problem.
That's an issue.
That's an issue. You know what I mean? You know, you can't even fucking do that now, you know?
It breeds a weird kind of confidence not being punched in the face. Now, getting punched in the face breeds humility.
Yeah.
This is so fucked. This is the weirdest
Look at the fucking state of us, man.
This is the weirdest dichotomy that you can fucking believe in. So, getting punched in the face breeds a wonderful humility and respect for your fellow man. Not getting punched in the face breeds this weird level of authoritarian confidence.
Safeness.
It's borderline Orwellian, man. Yeah. It's fucking mad.
That's where we are. I mean, let's go down the route of the religion thing. We need to kind of fucking head in there a little bit.
All right.
The lad that was out here yesterday, I've never seen this before in my life.
Yeah.
And he was screaming. He's a black dude, looked cool as fuck, Jamaican accent. He was out on our road here, and he was screaming blue murder at anybody that would walk past, that they were in trouble, that they were going to hell. He had the placard. He was walking up and down the street.
Would you go as far as to say they were hellbound?
Yeah.
Great tune by Lee Rogers. Check it out, by the way.
Fucking never mind that shit.
Yeah, anyway. But he was essentially pontificating.
Yeah, pontificating, but to who?
Anyone
who's going to listen to that and go, he's right? Who's going to listen to that man?
Yeah.
He's right. You know what I mean? There was a big part of me would like to take him aside. I mean, listen, do not get me wrong. I know Christians who are lovely and they keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
And they enjoy their lives, and they live, and their faith is pure. And I know ones who have used their faith to pull them away from alcoholism and drugs.
What is faith? First and foremost, do you want to talk about a wee bit what fucking faith is?
Faith is where you're believing in something without any proof.
So belief in the absence of proof.
Belief in the absence of proof is exactly what it is. Now, whenever you go down that road, that's entirely your call. When you start to try and push that on the modern person these days, I mean, the Christian church, the Catholic Church, the Holy Roman Catholic Empire, it doesn't have a hold on us anymore. It's gone. It is fucking gone. If you're doing that, if you're still doing that, it's because you need to have that crutch of the God to get through your day to day.
Before we get into the nitty gritty of it, can I tell you my very rudimentary thought process on your religious belief?
Go.
So as males, or those who identify as males, cis, that's another fucking term that annoys me. I sound like such a middle-aged man with a B in my bonnet.
What does that mean?
That's the thing. So we get this label put upon us as cisgendered, but I have never subscribed to it.
I'm a fucking man. That's what I am. So I'm a male man, fucking hot-blooded, ready to rock.
I've never subscribed to this.
Two-fisted, 2 fucking feet, ready to go.
So I've never subscribed to this cisgender thing. I still don't really know what that means. Like I'm a dude.
Somebody labelled you that. Somebody said that to your face.
Someone, yeah. The other somebody we were having a chat in here about something. I can't remember. There was some clients in
trying to alienate normality.
Yeah, and they were like, well, you as a cisgendered male. And I was like, what is a cisgendered male? I haven't subscribed to that particular label. No. I don't know.
You got labelled.
Yeah, I got labelled, and I was like, how dare you assume my cisness, I suppose.
Explain it. I need to know this.
I still don't know what it is.
Should
anyway,
Google it?
But look, I'm a dude. What? I Google cis.
Google cis. S-I-S?
No, not SISSY, because that'll bring up a whole different category of stuff that I do not have bookmarked.
Listen, you know what I mean? We all have our things.
While you're doing that, I'm going to talk about my philosophy when it comes to faith and religion. So you're religious. Right. Thank you, mate. Just cut me the fuck off there. No worries. Go ahead.
You cut me the fuck off daily. Cisgender. The word cisgender, often shortened to cis, sometimes cissexual.
Is it backed by any empirical evidence or research? Or is it just a term that's been developed?
If you let me fucking read it, Phil. Describes a person whose gender identity corresponds to their sex assigned at birth.
By whom?
IE corresponds to IE, someone who is not transgender. The prefix cis is Latin and means, now who came up with this shit?
Who decided this was a thing?
Critiques history and usage of term. Marquis Bay states that proto-cisgender discourse arose in Germany.
Proto-cisgender discourse.
Proto-cisgender discourse arose in Germany.
That sounds
in
real.
1914 when Ernest...
Oh, wait here. A conversation that arises in Germany around that time, there's fucking red flags.
Yeah, I'm not even going to read that, man.
No, I wouldn't either. Fuck me, man. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But yes, my philosophy on religion and your religious belief is so, right, it's kind of like your dick. Right? You can have it. You can have it. You can be proud of it. You can love it. All right? But it's not okay to get it out in public and shove it down people's throats that don't want it.
No, that's never been okay though. I mean, that's not you.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, but that's still not okay. Here, clip that. Can we get that clipped? That's fucking. No, I'm saying no. I'm saying it's not okay. Are we all on the same page here?
Don't clip that. I don't want that clipped.
Fucking clip that and tag me. Yeah, scared of fuck all. Come get me.
Yeah. So,
but again, we had that fucking preacher in the street, and he's preaching the fucking end of days because people are tattooed, people are this, people are that. It was saying that gay people are going to hell, all this kind of stuff, which we don't agree with.
You know what I mean? And you know, the thing about it is that who told him to do that?
Well, he would say he was moved by the Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit. He's going to tell you a sign that told him to go out and tell the world.
But is that not one of the pillars?
Evangelical Christianity is the most dangerous fucking thing on the planet.
Is that not one of the pillars, though? Is that spreading the gospel?
Spreading the gospel is a thing you can do. I mean, right, so Christ himself says, where two or more gathered in my name, there I'll be. That's a church. It's not a building. It's not a fucking fancy hat. You know what I mean? I like the idea of Jesus, the person, which wasn't his fucking name, by the way, but they had to do something that suited the time. As a revolutionary, I seen that. Absolutely. I see him as an olden day Che Guevara. Whenever Emperor Constantine lost Rome, he lost it. It gets sacked by a Germanic tribe called the Vandals, which is where vandalism comes. The word vandalism in English comes from. They went in and they fucked Rome over, and there was only a few hundred of them. There wasn't that many. Yeah. Roman Empire at the time was the most powerful thing on the fucking planet. And the next thing they get sacked.
Like the DUP.
Yeah, they get sacked over that. They were fucked. The people lost their faith in the old gods, which until that time, the old gods had served them very well, right? Okay? According to their history.
Yep.
So, whenever he lost the control of the people and he became the emperor, he said, I need to pull these people back to me. I need to give these people something.
So a societal shift.
A societal shift, and that was a major one.
Right.
Now, 350 odd years.
I hope if anyone's listening, they can draw parallels between what we're saying and what's going on in modern day society.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Lee, go ahead.
That's it. That's the ends of civilizations. They become something else. I mean, the Roman Empire didn't die. It didn't disappear. It became a church. It became a bank. Yep. That's what happened. Okay? So, whenever you look back at what he needed to do to pull his people back together, he said, we need to pull these people back into the fold.
Yep.
But we got to do it in such a way that we give them something that can give them some sort of like fucking comfort, but we also need to give them something that is going to scare them enough to hold them here. That's where hell and heaven come in. He had heard about these people, these sects of people in the Middle East who were preaching the story of this person who was teaching essentially fucking Tibetan Buddhism. That's what he was teaching. Right. Whether you like it or not, one of the most evil religions to Christians is Buddhism. If you talk to any of them, especially the pappy clappy cunts in the Elam churches and stuff, right? Okay, so those people. What happened was he wanted these people to his scribes to go out and find out all that they could about this person 350 years after the fact and bring back stories.
Yep.
They're called the Gnostic Gospels. There was 90.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry. There was 90 odd stories came back. He chose the four most magical sounding ones.
Yeah.
Which became the Gospels that we know now, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Mm-hmm. And what he did was he said, these are the Gospels of Christ. This is the person you need to look to. And he needed to find a lineage between Abraham, okay, and Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. Now, if you read the first book of Mark, what happens is you go through, the first thing that happens is the lineage, okay? Fucking Abraham begot Isaac, begot all the way through, and then it comes down to Joseph begot Jesus. Now, what virgin birth happened there?
Yeah, because he was not conceived.
Joseph was not Jesus' father, according to the Gospels.
So,
go ahead.
So a deity was essentially created by those who it would benefit to have a deity created. It was a control mechanism, essentially.
Say shit happened here. Say our civilization got wiped to the fucking floor.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, let's hope.
Right.
But civilization got wiped to the floor, right? 300 years from now, someone turns around and goes, I heard stories about this guy, John Lennon, who around about 1981 was murdered for his beliefs. And
a martyr, if you will.
Do you see what I'm saying here?
Right.
So these people who are worshipping John Lennon as a Beatle, as himself, these people are still, the stories have followed through. This guy was a
the Rolling Stone gathers moss.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And you send people out, and you're going to get stories about magic. You're going to get stories about things that he'd done. You're going to get stories about him healing people. Yeah, it's going to happen, and it's happened overall. I mean, Isis was the fucking Egyptian god who was born of a virgin, had 12 disciples, died, murdered, came back 3 days after. It was the same thing. That was thousands of years before the story of Christ. This story, the Christ story, has happened over and over again.
But then you need to create fail-safes then in situations like that. One being the first commandment.
Yeah.
I am the Lord your God, you shall not have false gods before me.
That's it.
So when they've created this deity to control the populace, to manipulate the societal confluence at the time, if you will, you need to make sure that, okay, so we have this. If you believe anything else beyond that, ooh, you one of them heretics we've been talking about.
And Christ was a heretic in his time. The Pharisees, the fucking the fucking Council of the Nicosia. He was a heretic. He got away with, as a heretic in those times, you don't get away with shit.
Yep.
For 3 years he ministered and he walked around. This person, this revolutionary.
Right.
For 3 fucking years, right?
Revolutionary is the fucking word, bro.
Exactly. 12 disciples, 12 commanders. They had their own people underneath them.
So was he potentially a general?
This was an armed revolution. This was him going and saying, we don't want your Judaism anymore. The Hebrews are dead. This is the new shit. Okay? So the emperor had to pull him in and bring him into line with what the Hebrews had.
Do you reckon they were scared of him?
Were they scared of him? Yeah, 100%. I don't think he was a Zari Fairy. He certainly wasn't a fucking white man either. But he wasn't.
Hold on, the Sacred Heart that my ma has in her house above the stairs. Here, all I'm saying is that's essentially Cliff Richard with a fucking long hair and a beard. He could have sang at Wimbledon and everyone would have been happy.
Fucking mad bastard, but I love that shit. Where were we? Yes.
He wasn't a white man.
Yeah, he wasn't a white man.
Yeah.
He was a revolutionary, as far as I'm concerned. You don't get away with what he done for that amount of time. Now, the difference...
You said 3 years. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead,
can I go back to something a wee bit prior to what you said? So you said, like, for 3 years, he was allowed to minister. 3 years, he was allowed to conduct... Uncontested. He was allowed to do his ministry. In biblical text, I think it was up until the age of 11... He is spoken about, and he spoke with the wise men of the time, and then it goes dark.
Yeah.
Where the fuck they go?
Right. Well, let's look at a map. Have we got a map? Can we do this?
Go ahead.
Find the map for me, and I'll talk. You do it.
All right.
Middle East. So there's theories. Nobody has proof.
What do you think?
Well, what he came back with is what I think, Phil. So what he came back with was fucking Tibetan Buddhism. He came back with as a Buddhist monk. I think there's a good chance that as a kid, maybe 14 or 15, he went out and traveled as far into Nepal or India or somewhere like that. India's probably handier to him. There's nothing stopping him doing that as a kid. And I think he worked with monks.
Have a look around that.
Okay, so let's look at it.
So, hold on. Right.
Go ahead.
11 years old, something drastic happened.
Yeah.
He left to educate himself on a number of different disciplines, absorbing knowledge from a number of different people, and then came back to his home state to become a defender of the people. You're fucking describing Batman.
It's very possible that he was able to pull that off in those days. You know what I mean? If you have a mum and dad and you have a super smart kid, now let's touch on it, but let's not get too into it. The autism thing has been around for a long time, a lot longer than what we have recognized it.
Of course.
Okay? Yeah. And you're a perfect example of this here because you're only diagnosed 3 years ago, something like that.
3-4 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But you've lived your whole life the way you are.
I have indeed, yeah.
Have had your struggles and everything else.
Neurodivergent, baby.
You have a kid. You have a kid back then who is that way, who is sucking in information, who wants to know about the religion, who wants to know about the faith of his people, who's
asking questions,
which you don't like.
Yeah.
Imagine standing back and looking at that picture and going, no, this isn't right.
Yeah.
This isn't right. I know there's a spirit driving me. I know I'm a fucking meat suit with a spirit inside me. I know I'm a human I'm a spirit having a human experience. Once you recognize that,
you're a meat vehicle.
What happens when you're a kid and you recognize that? Your mum and dad can do fuck all with you because obviously you're saying heresy. What you're saying is heresy. And they go, okay. Now, on those trade routes where they lived, there was people constantly passing through. They were bringing spices from India. They were from Turkey, from Iran, from Iraq, which you know what I mean. So they were constantly moving around. They were bringing all the spices, foods, different things, trade routes. You know what I mean. Mm-hmm. What if he jumped on a trade train? Do you know what I mean? And headed that way. Yeah. Because the mum and dad were going, he's going to get us in trouble. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine that? Hitting 15 years old and them not knowing he's too smart for us. We don't know what to do. If he stays here and he keeps talking the way he's talking, we're going to get fucked over here.
And also the means of
get on that away you with those horses are, son. Sure, we'll see in a few years' time.
And also the means of communication by which we fucking live by now. You know, if somebody has an idea and fucking a man Jordan right now, we know about it and within seconds. Yeah. But you think that the distillation of information and the way that information was passed on, you're talking it was literally word of mouth. Yeah. So this
say Tibetan monks were bringing silks through. And they heard it, and this kid got talking to them, and they went, "You're one of us."
Well, also, if this kid starts talking about something and like this kid's fucking enlightened, this kid's fucking smart,
or on the way to enlightenment,
or on the way to enlightenment. But by the time that reaches different coastlines, different everything, it turns out that this kid's a fucking deity. Yeah. This kid is the new fucking, the new god. Yeah. Because like we talked about, like you see Lauren or Carrick, for example, if you fucking fart at the top of the hill, by the time you reach the bottom of the hill, you've shit yourself based on the way fucking people talk. Yeah. So you think about the way that a fucking rolling stone starts to gather more. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So could it have been built up to be perhaps more of a fucking deity than he was?
I don't think so, because when he came back, he was nothing. When are you talking about when he was alive? When he came back, he was nothing. I mean, he came back and had to start something fresh.
So he began his ministry around 30 years old, right?
30 to 33. Yeah. Allegedly. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, 33 is the Jesus year, isn't it, when he was crucified?
Well, listen, I mean, and listen to me. I'm talking like I know this. This is what I have kind of put together.
God bless any poor bastard that came here for MMA chit chat.
And we are going to get there.
Yes, we are.
Promise you.
This is just what we fancied today, lads.
This is our day. This is what we have today. Yeah. Because of that fuckwit outside.
Yeah.
You know what got me, man? And I'll be honest with you. There was a kid.
This
beautiful little 10, 11 years, not even 6, 8, 9. I don't know. I don't know what fucking size kids are.
Yeah, just right? it was a wee girl.
She was running to the shop and she stopped because he was outside the fucking.
She was scared. She was scared.
Yeah, she was, and she stopped and she went and she came the other way and Phil, which she should never do realistically.
Yeah,
is approach a kid and say, "Are you okay? Has he scared you?"
I know.
But you know, everybody knows this man, so we're all right. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I went up to the kid and was like, "Sweetheart, are you okay? Are you okay?"
I'll walk up with you. And she says, no, it's okay. Yeah, I said, but she fucking was.
Yeah.
He stopped her doing a wee job.
Yeah, she wanted to go to the shop. You know, she clearly wanted to go to the shop, and I said, "Dear sweetheart, are you okay? If that man's scaring you, I'll walk up to the shop with you." Which again, you should never. Again, you should never fucking approach a child who's not with a parent and say it. But
I think we were pissed off at the time.
Yeah,
we almost wanted a reason to go and say to him, mate, see your placard and your fucking face. Fuck off.
You could quite clearly see that the kid wanted to go to the shop and was scared.
Yeah.
And again, that shows the imposition that. Because I'm sure he thought that he was spreading the gospel, doing the Lord's work, but it also shows the imposition to the liberties of other people that religion can fucking cause.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
And listen, the religion has caused every major war, every fucking big meltdown that this planet has ever had, apart from before humans were here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's another one for a different fucking day, man.
That's a different podcast. Let's talk about that again.
We're going fucking full astral and celestial at some stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, can I go for a wee pish?
Absolutely. Well, we'll pause it there.
Aye, pause it. I'll come right back.
Cut it and you go.
I'll go for a wee pish. Aye, happy days. Cheers. Aye, you do that.
You good? Yeah. So anyway.
How was your shite?
I went for a smoke, man. You went for a shite.
And it was class.
Where were we? So, have you think to yourself about the God of the Hebrews? Yeah. I'll put a cap on this here, but we've got to talk about it.
Yeah, of course.
The God of the Hebrews, to me, I mean, we're both occultists, man. You understand what it means, and how to.
Now let's not dive into the whole the occult today, because that's
a whole different thing. But
yeah.
Because we can understand.
Yeah,
this.
Yeah. Should we just preface it by saying that being an occultist does not mean that you're sitting in black, wearing white face paint, black lips, trying to summon a demon.
The occult means hidden. Mm-hmm. So whenever the Christian religions, the Abrahamic faith kind of came in, everybody who wasn't worshipping those gods became hidden, and that was the word. The occult.
And also the amount of people day to day right now that are involved in practices.
You're going down a road.
I'll save that for another day, but
manifestation.
Listen, you are all a bunch of occultists.
Absolutely.
Whether you know it or not. If you've bought
a self-help book, you're a fucking occultist.
I've learned the secret. Fuck off.
Fuck the secret.
Anyway,
but listen.
Sorry.
In the time whenever every major civilization on the planet had its pantheon of gods. Yeah. Right? So you had
good use of pantheon. That's a great word.
Pantheon.
Aye, great word.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate
you can use that.
I will.
Yeah. Well. But anyway, so the pantheon of gods. So you had the Norse had their gods.
Yep.
The Greeks had their gods. The Romans had their gods. The Celts had their gods. And those gods, you had the god of the forest, the god of the field, the god of farming. Go ahead.
So you've spoken about, and again, it comes back to something I said before about a control mechanism.
Yeah.
I am the Lord your God. You shall not have false gods before me.
Yeah. There was a reason for that, which we're getting into. So you're this entity that's jealous of the people who have gods. He can't get in anywhere.
We Lego brick.
A Lego brick. He's nothing. He's nothing. He's no power. He's nothing that he can do. But there's this one tribe of people who are all of a sudden godless. The Hebrews when they left Egypt.
Yeah.
Because until they left Egypt, the gods of the Hebrews were the Egyptian gods.
They were cast out.
Yep. So whenever they weren't cast out, they were begged to be brought out. That was let us go, let them go. You know what I mean? That was the whole Moses shit.
Liberated.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So when they were liberated, there was this one entity who claimed to be the creator. Okay. Claimed to give Moses Genesis and all that shit. Okay. He wrote it all down.
Phil Collins.
What are you being a cunt for?
Sorry, mate. It's my default setting.
Anyway, so whenever that happened, this God says, "I am the Lord your God." He never gave a name. Yahweh, which is how the English pronounce those four letters. Yeah. Yahweh, right? YHWH, Yahweh, right? Is unpronounceable in Hebrew. You can't pronounce that name. The name that God gave them is unpronounceable because
if you give a deity and if a deity has a name and you can proclaim that, does that not give it power?
No, it gives you power.
It gives you power over the entity.
Over the entity.
Right.
If you have the name of an entity, and occultism,
right? Yes.
You get me?
Yes, mate. Yes.
Million times. You call that in the triangle of art. Okay. You have the entity's name. You also have its sigil because there's a way to with how it's spoke out, there's a way to make a sigil
construct
for it.
Yeah.
Okay? And when you have a sigil for it, you can control it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Look at Papa Legba from the voodoo. People
my favorite.
Call him Ganesh, all the gods from all the fucking civilizations. You can call their spirits, essentially. Yeah. And whenever you talk about this here, the one thing that God was smart, that God, that entity was smart enough to do was to not give it a pronounceable name. Do you get me? Do you understand?
Well, so it could
never be controlled. It could never be conjured. Anyway,
so where does Jesus come from then? What is it? You start calling the deity that we know today as Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Well, let's get quickly into that there. Once
did the populace?
Once you have 4 billion people on the planet, 4 billion people on the planet who believe in Jesus Christ, what happens, Phil?
Manifestation.
Correct. That's it. In the occult world, there's a thing called an egregore. We both know this very well.
Yes.
And you can create an egregore, but in medieval times, you used to create an egregore to do one job.
To do a deed. Yeah, and then it would be destroyed.
Some people say the Pharaoh of London was started by an egregore.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens is that when you put your will into something,
your intention,
and you have a coven of 13 witches or whatever shit, whatever way you want to do it. It doesn't have to be 13 witches. If you have enough people,
a council, so to speak.
If you have enough people who are believing the same thing and need the same thing done, this thing will do.
Gives it energy, gives it power,
and it's your own energy. Yeah. You have 4 billion people believing in the same vision, the same image, the same abilities. It doesn't. It's not even man create. It's not even God creating man. It's man creates God.
Jesus didn't.
Have this. It's there.
Jesus didn't create the church of people. People created the church of Jesus.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mate, we are getting cancelled. The fuck. So we are. Jesus Christ.
Nobody's fucking cancelling us, mate. We're all right.
But yeah, it's an interesting concept, and again, I always find it interesting when you mention that, because yes, you and I are occultists, which is not.
We're not conjuring fucking demons.
No, we're not going up. We're not going up fucking Ballybully Forest. You looking at
sponsored by Gaviscon.
Are you looking at sponsorship? Are you?
Fuck, I could do one.
He's not looking at sponsorship. He's just a 47-year-old man. He's had a Guinness.
For fuck's sake, yeah.
But again, when you mention the word occultist, that conjures images of black robes, human sacrifices, all that kind of shite, the majority of people don't realize what they're doing is engaging in occult practices day by day.
Yeah, exactly.
Occult is not a dirty word. It's not a black word.
Right down to the kid who won't step in the cracks in the pavement because he's afraid it'll hurt his mom.
Occult.
Do you know what I mean? That's a cult. That's ritual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You light a candle when you go into a Catholic church and you light a candle for the dead. That's
prayer.
Prayer
by its very nature is an occult fucking practice.
The only difference between prayer is you're hoping for a middleman to catch it.
Yeah.
You're hoping for the God that you're praying to catch it. What happens is that God's not there, so it hits something.
Yep.
50-50. 50% chance it's going to work. 50% chance it's going to not.
I agree with you.
Do you know what I mean?
Agree with you 100%. And again, I find it so interesting that people don't realize that they are already engaging in these practices.
I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah.
The whole world has actually came full circle and are worshipping the gods that the Bible doesn't want to worship.
Full disclosure, I was raised a very strict Catholic, and my ma. I love my ma.
Fenian bastard.
I am indeed. I'm a lapsed member, but that still makes me a Fenian bastard. So my ma is the most pious wee woman. You've met my ma. My ma's class.
Lovely woman. I love her.
She loves going for a walk. She loves in order. She loves Jesus, going for a walk, me and my sister. Or my sister and me, rather.
Yes, mate. Yeah.
But any time that we had something serious coming up, whether it was a school examination, a job interview, something big in our lives, she would have said, "You'll be all right. Yeah. I'll light a wee candle for you."
Yeah.
And she didn't realize. And it's
the body and blood of Christ.
Transubstantiation.
When you eat the body and blood of Christ, that is ritual.
Yeah, of course
that is ritual. It's no different than what fucking Alistair Crowley was doing in the Temple of Thelema. The thing about it was that the Temple of Thelema and what he was doing, he was good at it. But people who try to
Google the Temple of Thelema
or Golden Dawn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People who were doing these rituals, they had a certain ring, a certain moon phase, a certain color robe, a certain type of dagger with a certain hilt on it. If that was the wrong dagger, and they started to doubt it after, this is the problem.
Religious festival to religious festival, exactly. A priest changes his robes.
Exactly. There you go. It's the same fucking thing, man.
With my ma, talking about like that thing of lighting a candle. the candle was fucking insignificant to the practice. It was the intent that she was espousing and putting out into the fucking universe.
Can I put a cap on this real quick?
100%.
You're gonna fucking love this.
Go ahead.
You're all gonna love this shit. Well, some of you might.
And then we're gonna switch gears. Something shocking.
Yeah. So, with the pantheon of gods that took, as we talked about earlier on, the god of the field, the god of the grain, the god of the forest, the god of, you know what I mean, the god of this, the god of that. Whenever the Catholic Church brought the monotheism in and says this is
meaning one
god. Whenever they said this is the only god there is, right? And the people went, we can't do that. What about our crops? What about our farming? One god can't look after it all. And they said, okay, let's put saints in those places.
Oh,
do you get me?
Generals, if you will.
Generals. Let's put saints over those places. So you have the patron saint of travel, the patron saint
Saint Christopher,
the sea, the patron saint of, you know what I mean?
Aye.
They put the saints in the places
where they instilled their generals.
Yeah. So nothing fucking changed. Do you know what I mean?
Mate.
Anyway,
I love the fact that someone can listen and say, can't wait to hear Phil Lee talk about MMA. Fuck.
Let's give him some MMA,
man. Speaking of MMA, UFC 303 goes down this weekend.
And he's not on it.
And McGregor's not on it, is right. Now, by the time this goes out, it'll probably have happened, but it'll be interesting to get your take on a couple of fights.
Go.
Light heavyweight championship fight has Alex Pereira taking on Yuri Prohaska. It's a rematch.
Where are you with that?
Mate, I just think Alex Pereira is so fucking dominant right now. I think if he went up to heavyweight, he would have a competitive bout with Tom Aspinall.
Right.
Because look at his last fight against Jamal Hill. So a foul was committed against Pereira. Yeah. The referee went to step in to be like, "Oh, you've been fouled." He pushed him away, mid-fight, and then knocked the fuck out of Jamal Hill. Yeah. And it was. So
he didn't want to fucking.
No. He literally was like, "No, bro." That's my impersonation of a Brazilian guy. "No, bro, I keep fight," and then he knocked him the fuck.
Give me more of that. That's pretty cool.
No, don't, because like if anything, if we're not gonna get cancelled for the religious stuff, it's gonna be the fucking xenophobic shit of me doing fucking impersonations of
bad accents,
really bad accents.
Have you got a good southern one? Have you?
A good southern Brazil?
Give me a good Cork one.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no, boy. Look back at the fucking UFC 303 now. Here. No, a big fight that stands out for me. Fucking Ed Machado, Gary.
Give me a Dublin one.
And fucking kind of talk like that now. Here, listen. Listen, I gave him fucking €20 and the rap was only about 15.
Give me my one.
Yours?
Aye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along the pod. Here, give us your arm. Give us a wee look and see what we're going to fucking do. Here. No, anyway, and like a fight I'd love to get your opinion on. Ian Machado Garrig's taking on Michael Venom Page. Now Jesus Christ, that's a dick in your hand kind of fight, isn't it? Like, it's just lovely. Like, that's proper, just enjoyable.
There's part of me's just saying MVP. Like,
right. Ian Garry. And without, sounding somewhat indulgent, but I know Ian on a personal level, right? I called his first ever amateur fight on Clan Wars.
Sorry, mate.
Here. How's 5 Vans?
He's a good lad.
Fuck up, would you? Anyway.
I never brought him up.
So I know he just did. Anyway.
Is that it?
Do we get it?
Here he might be coming on.
Allegedly so.
Anyway,
but Ian Garry has got so much vitriolic hate online that is completely unnecessary. Right. I don't know what it's just because.
He hasn't done anything outwardly.
No, he hasn't. He's a second generation Irish fighter, post McGregor.
Is that why?
Maybe.
Holding up to that.
He's a good lad. He's a great dad. He's just a young fighter trying to make his way. I don't know why he gets so much hate. He's a lovely lad. He also tried to get the fight with Colby Covington, and there was so much shit talk between the two. And let's be honest, Colby Covington shit his pants. Ian Garry signed the contract. Colby Covington didn't, and now Ian gets.
Do you think I was doing the management, or was that Colby himself just said no?
I think he shit the bed.
You think so?
Here, listen. Not that Colby Covington gives a fuck what I say about him, because I'm a fucking amoeba in the scope of fucking MMA journalism.
You're not like, but go ahead. We love you, Phil.
He's a bag of shite.
Phil.
He's a bag of shite, and he knows that if he fought Ian Garry would piece him. Ian Garry's 6'2" with a ridiculous range with beautiful boxing. He would smash him to bits and end his career. Therefore,
boxer's always going to come out on top.
Yeah. Therefore, he does not want that smoke. Yeah. Now, go. Ian Garry taking on MVP. MVP, who has some of the most beautiful movement.
That cunt is fucking scary, isn't he?
Isn't he?
He just has never not been scary.
Now, I've seen that boy throw punches from outside of the cage and still fucking land them.
Yeah.
He is that fucking good, but it's such an interesting fight. And if and when Ian Garry wins that fight, Ian Machado Garry, he solidifies his position as one of the best. Because he's only, 26, 27?
Where is he now in his career, MVP?
MVP's 37 years old. 37 years old. He's 1-0 in the UFC. He fought in Bellator. Yeah. To make bank.
That's where I'd seen him.
Yeah. So he fought in Bellator to make bank, but who was he fighting in Bellator?
Go.
Give me the name of someone he fought in Bellator.
I can't even think. Go.
Exactly, mate.
Oh, there's no names. Nothing.
That's the point I'm making. That's not being disparaging against Bellator.
So you're thinking that
the only time MVP fought someone in Bellator that really was the fucking man was Douglas Lima.
Right.
He got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
He fought Mike Perry in bare knuckle boxing. Mike Perry beat him. Mike Perry, who's now fighting Jake Paul. Let's go now.
Get the fuck. Is that happening?
No, well, since
is that instead of Tyson?
Since Mike Tyson is not fighting, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I've never heard of him, but so since that fight is now off, you have Mike Perry taking on Jake Paul in a glove boxing fight. Right. Mike Perry. Now, obviously, I'm an advocate for bare knuckle boxing. I fucking love it. I did it myself. He is just the uncrowned fucking linear king of violence. Yeah. He is going to literally, mate, if he does not wear Jake Paul like a fucking sleeping bag.
It's a fucking fix.
It is a fix.
It's a fucking fix.
But I believe he will smash him.
Beat anybody that he beat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mike Perry beat MVP in bare knuckle. He beat Luke Rockhold, the former UFC middleweight champion in bare knuckle. He beat Eddie Alvarez, the former UFC lightweight champion. Why did he go from lightweight in the UFC to middleweight in bare knuckle boxing? Steroids. But that's irrelevant. He fucking did it.
Going to get fucking shut down so fast, man.
No. But he did it, and it was impressive. But again, like Ian Machado Garry taking on MVP, a fucking great fight, a fight that I'm really looking forward to. I'm having a look through the card here, and there's Andrei Arlovsky's fighting on the card, man.
Yeah.
Andrei Arlovsky's older than you.
I'm not that fucking old, Phil. Still training. Give me here, buddy.
But I think that's great. Shall we cap it there, buddy?
Yeah, let's cap it there, buddy. This has been a fucking great podcast.
All right,
folks,
guys.
We are not sponsored by Hop House 13.
Or
We're
Forged.
not sponsored by Gaviscon. And we're not sponsored by Forge, but we like them all.
But here, listen, if you like what you hear, please follow the Bat and the Bandit podcast on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. We're trying to work our way back onto that iTunes, but I don't think we're going to get there. My name is Phil Campbell. Because you're fucking here. My name is Phil Campbell. You'll find me at PC_commentary on Instagram. Lee Rogers, the man, the myth, the legends. Where are we going to find you?
Lee Rogers Music and L Rogers.
That is it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode number 2 of The Bat and the Bandit.
Cheers,
thank you so much for your time. Shout out to young Jack, who is our engineer, the man, the myth, the legend that he is. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you on episode 3 if we're fucking allowed it.